Hello and thanks for watching Creating a Website for Your Students Using Google Sites. This is part one of a three-part series. You'll have to watch parts 2 and 3 to be able to completely finish your site. I had to chop this up and it stops a little bit abruptly after part 1. So I apologize for the abruptness. Just move right on to part 2 and then to part 3 and I'll pick up right where I left off. Again, thanks for watching. Hi and welcome to this video tutorial. I'm going to be showing you today how to create a website for your students using Google Sites. The first thing that I want to do is I want to show you a website that I created for my students. You can see this is my website right here. It's Mr. Reichhelt's Maine West website. You can see the URL up here, greichelt.com, so you can get a custom URL. And I just have a basic welcome message for my students and a picture of the school. Over here in the navigation side I have all the different classes that I teach, as well as classroom rules and a way to contact me. So if we go to one of the classes that I teach, Linux Plus, I have built in here, I have a calendar, and the calendar just shows what we're doing every day, so my students don't have to come in and ask me, hey Mr. Reichelt, what are we doing today? I can just show them the calendar and they can see what we're doing today and what we're doing in upcoming weeks. Also on here I have all the worksheets and links to labs and just videos on how to do things in class, just basic stuff that we do in class. You can also attach stuff to your web page. I attached this is the class seating chart that I put down here. I could also attach worksheets, but the way that I handle worksheets is I actually upload them to Google Docs, and then I create a link and you can just click on here and my students can then just click on the worksheet and be able to download it or print it or do whatever they need to do. So it tends to work out for them. Here's one of the worksheets right now. And then, so I have my classroom rules also on this navigation bar, and then contact information. So there's just a really simple, easy way to contact me. Now, Google offers some very advanced websites. My website is more basic, and if you're new to creating a website, I would recommend making a website more like mine. But you can really get advanced with Google and make some really spectacular stuff. So in order to start, you need to have a Google account. If you don't have a Google account already, just go to gmail.com and sign up. And then once you have a Google account, just go ahead and sign into Google. You can go to gmail.com or google.com/docs and sign in. So once you're ready to begin, go ahead and go to Google, log in, and you're going to want to click on More. You're going to want to go down to Sites and go ahead and click on Sites, and you'll get a page that looks like this. Now this is my site right here that I just created, but we're going to actually be creating a new website. So I'm going to click on Create New Site, and then the first option it gives you is to choose a template. Now these templates allow you to create a beautiful website. They pretty much offer pre-built beautiful websites, and all you have to do is fill in your content and edit them. However, I advise you to use, especially if you're new to Google Sites, use a more simple template. A lot of these templates look very beautiful, but they're fairly advanced and they can get overwhelming if you don't know what you're doing. So I'm going to browse the gallery for more. Now you'll see right up at the top there is a classroom site. When I preview this, this is it is a great template. However, this is very advanced. There's a lot of things going on here, and if you don't know what you're doing, this can be a little bit difficult to manage. If you feel confident, though, you can definitely use this template. I would actually recommend building a website first, messing around in Google Sites, and once you feel confident using the service, then move on to a more advanced template such as this. I'm actually going to be using, I found a lot of good ones under this personal and family. I'm going to be using family site. The one that I used before was personal and professional. That's the one that I'm currently using for my Google site. But I'll use family site for this tutorial. So I'm going to hit select, name of site. Alright, I'll go Mr. Reichelt's student website. Go ahead and call yours whatever you want. I'm calling mine Mr. Reichelt's student website. On my actual, I call mine Mr. Reichelt's Main West website. Go ahead and do that. Right below here, this is going to be the URL, or this is going to be the way that your students can access your website. You'll notice on my website I actually have just a regular domain name, like a .com. To get that, you actually have to register a domain name. It costs like $12 a year or so. If you don't want to do that, if you don't want to pay, that's not a big deal. But the way that your students are going to access the website is through this. So https://sites.google.com/sites/ and then whatever you want. The default, it's automatically going to fill this in with the name of your site. If you want to change this, like if you don't want it to be Mr. Reichelt, and just delete this. You might want it to just be your last name or something a little bit more easy for them to remember. Underneath this, I have the ability to choose a theme. Now, if you're using a template, you don't really need to choose a theme. Just using the blank is totally fine. I'm using the template default. However, if you're using a blank template, I would recommend choosing a theme. This will add some color to your website, and it'll just give it a little bit of flair without you having to do a lot. But like I said, I chose to use, I'm going to be using the family site template, so I'm not going to mess around with a theme. Under more options, I have the ability to type in a little site description here. A website for Mr. Reichelt's students and parents. Oops, let me fix that. And then what I share with. So should everyone in the world be able to see this website, or only people I specify? If you choose only people I specify, those people have to have a Google account and they have to be logged in to be able to see your website. That can be good for some people, but I've found that a lot of my students just get confused with this and they aren't able to log in, so I just share my website with everyone in the world. I just don't put anything inappropriate up there. The site does not contain mature content. And then right here I'm going to type in the word to create a page. And then I'm going to just go ahead and type in whatever word is over there. Like create site. Whoops, looks like I typed it in wrong. TOMMI. And it's going to say up here creating your site. To create the site, it's going to take about 30 seconds to a minute. And once it's created, it's going to go to the main page. Here's my main page right here. So now I can get ready and start editing this site. So this is the website that I created. And in here I can click on edit page right away, but I'm not going to click on that to be able to edit the website and how this main page looks. First thing that I want to do is I want to get my my website all set up. So get all the pages that I want and just figure out the sidebar. Then I'm going to work on editing the specific pages and putting up the content that I want. So in order to do that, I'm going to come over here once my website's been created. I'm going to click on more actions. I'm going to go down to manage site. So I'll go down to manage site. Now I'm going to go through each one of these tabs and talk about what is available on them, and then we're going to start messing around with the website. So the first thing that I have on here is recent site activity. So if you updated a website, or updated a page, or deleted a page, or did anything, that's going to appear in the recent site activity. One of the nice things about Google Sites is there's history. And so if you do something that you didn't mean to do, like accidentally deleting a site or changing something that you didn't want to change, you can look through the history or this recent site activity and be able to go back to it. And so you can bring back pages that you didn't want deleted and recover content and stuff like that. The next tab right over here is pages. So this is going to be every page that I have. if you didn't have a template, there would be nothing here except for the main page. However, because I am using a template, they automatically populated and created like family blog, family calendar, family map, profiles, all these things. I can't necessarily get rid of them on this little tab right here, pages, but it just gives you a nice view of all the different pages that you have, and there actually are sub pages. So you can see I have my website right here, and then these are all the pages inside of the website, and then there's sub pages inside of these pages. Attachments. So these are all the things that are attached to your web page. If you wanted to have a picture on your website, you can put them in the attachments file and then be able to bring them to your website. That's what they've done here. You can also, you can see on my website, I attached the seating chart. You can upload worksheets, anything that you want on your website, you can put in here. So page templates. So these are going to be a lot of the things that were pre-created for you if you used a template. It gives you the profile pages, recipes. I don't really want any of these things, so right off the bat I'm going to go ahead and just delete them. I'm going to select both of these and I'm going to hit delete. Right up here I have standard templates. These are things that you're not allowed to delete, but they provide you some different ways to organize content on your website. The main web page, this is what the default is. This is what we mostly use. There's also lists, so rather than having like just a plain list on here, it kind of provides a nice, easy way to be able to manage what things are going on and provide an easy way for your site viewers to be able to view different lists of things. A file cabinet, if you do upload a lot of attachments to your website, a file cabinet is a great way to be able to allow your users to access all those things in an easy way. And then announcements. Announcements is like a microblog or a small blog, so you type in the announcements and it just feeds that into your website, and it populates that content automatically and it formats it in a nice little way. I generally use web pages. I just use this, but lists, file cabinets, and announcements, I know a bunch of teachers that use all of these as well. They're all just great templates to have. Under deleted items, so if you had something that you did delete, for instance, I deleted this, it goes into deleted items. It doesn't necessarily delete them permanently. If I did want to delete something permanently, I would come into deleted items and hit deleted permanently. If I the only reason I would want to delete something permanently is if I was running out of space. Google Sites automatically gives you 100 megabytes of space, so I wouldn't necessarily delete things permanently unless I was running out, because this allows you a great way that you can recover objects. If you delete something and you keep it in here for 4 weeks or so, Google will automatically delete it. You can see delete permanently, and it'll automatically delete it in 4 weeks. You don't have to worry about, well, I just want to get rid of that stuff. It'll automatically delete it, but this is a nice place to, if you deleted something and you want to recover it, you can come in here and recover it. Alright, well that ends part 1 of this video. I apologize for the abruptness. If you'd like to continue watching this whole video, please watch parts 2 and 3.